In this video, I'm going to show you creating a lo-fi track using Scratchpad in Reaper. Now, Scratchpad is another free VST plugin we could use in Reaper. And if we search in our browser, it should take us to this website. Now, you do have to jump through a few hoops and add it to the cart and so on, but it's still completely 100% free. And once it's downloaded and installed correctly, we could reopen Reaper. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to create a lo-fi track using the Scratchpad VST plugin. I've already created a drum loop, which unfortunately is one sound the plugin doesn't provide. It doesn't have drums. But my loop sounds like this. And to make it sound more lo-fi, let's add a filter to it. We'll go to the track, we'll search in the filter EQ, and let's use Re-EQ. I'm going to remove all the bands except for one and change it to a low-pass filter. I'll adjust the bandwidth to be a bit lower and the frequency to make our drum loop a bit darker. Right about 3 kilohertz sounds pretty good. Before and after. Makes it sound more lo-fi. Next, we'll add the Scratchpad plugin. Make a new track, and let's go to the track effects on the plugin, and let's search Scratchpad. And if it's installed correctly, it should show up right here. Double click it, and it looks like this. We'll hit start, and then we'll see all the settings it has. Here's our presets. There's a bunch to choose from. We can adjust our reverb, our size, mix, and width, our lo-finess, our chorus, trash, and wobble, which is pitch, and the ADSR, which is attack, decay, sustain, and release on the sound, along with the volume. Let's go into record on this track. Make sure it's set up to be MIDI input. And if we play our keyboard, which you can see down here, we should hear our sound. Let's go through some of the presets. And again, we could adjust the chorus, the trash, or how much saturation it has, and the wobble, or how much pitch changes over time. Let's check out the other presets. And then finally, we have some textures, which you can bring up some tape, rain, and vinyl to add to our track. We'll come back to that in a bit. Let's start off with a pad, go back to our presets, and let's choose Aubrey, which sounds like this. Let's bring up some chorus and some trash or saturation and a bit of the wobble. I think that's a bit too much. little bit less chorus. Let's add some reverb as well. Make it wide. Let's try to put down this pad part. Again, our track is in record. Let's give it a name. And let's record this part. And because this track is lo-fi, I'm not going to worry about quantizing the performance. A bit sloppy even works a bit better. Let's take it out of record, hear it back. And let's cut it up using a gate trigger. Let's make a new track. We'll name it trigger. Let's go to the effects on this track. And let's add a synth. I like to use the REAPER. Double click it. Let's set it to a sawtooth. Put it into record. Make sure it's set to MIDI. Bring it down a bit. Let's hear what the synth sounds like. Now let's put down that part we could use as a trigger. In other words, turning our pad on and off. Let's check it out. Again, we're not going to worry about quantizing it, as a bit sloppy will sound even better. Then we'll go to the routing and take it out of the master send, so we're not going to hear it. But now we could use it for triggering. Let's go to our pad again. Let's add a gate after the Scratchpad. I'll use REAPER. Make sure it's after the Scratchpad plugin, and we'll send our trigger to this plugin. Go to the routing on the trigger track and drag it over and drop it. Now we don't need to send the MIDI, just the audio. And set this to auxiliary input. Now our gate is going to be triggered by our trigger track, but it's going to be affecting our pad like this. Bring the release down a bit and the attack and adjust our threshold. We could also bring up some noise. Before and after. Now let's add a bass track. We'll name it bass, put it into record, add the plugin to this track, go to start. Let's use the airplane mode as our bass. Let's hear it. Let's try recording it to our track. Let's hear it without the pad. Now let's put a melody on top of all this. Make a new track, name it melody, put it into record, put the plugin on this track, go to start. Let's change the preset to Cynthia for lead. Let's hear this. Bring up the volume, maybe a little chorus and trash and wobble. Let's try recording the melody. Take out a record, then we can tweak the sound. And last but not least, let's add the textures to this. Make a new track. We'll name it Textures. We don't have to actually play on this track, so we'll make a new MIDI item, Control on the PC, Command on the Mac, and just draw it in. Double click it, and just add a note like this. So the textures will play. Add the plugin to this track right here. Go to Start, go to the preset, Textures, and we can add it in to taste. Let's mute the others. And let's hear it all together. And just like that, with this free plugin, we created a lo-fi track. So that's pretty much it. That's creating a lo-fi track using Scratchpad in Reaper. Hope you learned something, hope you could use it, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.
Bingo, boys, let's go.